How to choose the right BI vendor to partner with. This video is designed for channel partners to help them decide what BI vendor they should position to their customers. So first, we have to acknowledge one thing, that the BI market is a very crowded space. So when you look at the Gartner Magic Quadrant for analytics and business intelligence platforms, you could see that there are so many vendors out there. And beyond this, if you go to G2, you will see that for embedded analytics, there is more than 120 players. So there's a lot of vendors out there, and you need to really make sense of who does what best for what scenarios. But it's even more crowded for BI partners. Every solution has different partners, so it's important that you decide and you take into consideration what solution is more valuable for your business. So, what is the key to choose the right vendor? Well, we have a three-step process where first, you have to understand the fundamentals of the BI market, understand the technology, what's important and critical, and what is common and optional in this space. Second, understand the positioning of each vendor and where each vendor plays well. And third, choose the vendor that aligns best with your overall partner value proposition. So first, let's start with the fundamentals. So let's look at the Gartner analysis that separates between mandatory features and common features. So first, let's look at the mandatory capabilities. So in terms of BI mandatory capabilities, there are six of them. So the first one is data visualization. And data visualization is the ability to create interactive charts and dashboards that the users can help to understand their data. An example would be just a sales dashboard where it shows sales by region, and then users can click and see the details of each of these regions. Second, it's governance. So governance is all about the tools that help you understand how data is shared, used, and protected within the organization. An example would be ensuring that each employee sees and has access to the data that's relevant for their field, but it's also about the log analysis and understanding who viewed what at what time. The third capability is the reporting. And here it's self-explanatory. It's about having formatted reports that can be sent to groups on schedule. So the example here is just a monthly revenue report automatically sent to the different head departments. Fourth is the analytics catalog. And this is a library of searchable preset reports that makes it easier for users to consume your BI software. And here an example is customer retention report, where a marketing manager just selects that and has the relevant information for him. Fifth is the data preparation. And here, this is the drag and drop tools that lets users combine data from different sources to create custom models. An example would be just an analyst that looks at data from the CRM and website analytics to cross-reference and understand the buying patterns. And then six, it's the data science integration. And this is the tools that help you build machine learning models and integrate them into the broader ecosystem of data. And here you can see the example of a data scientist that uses the integrated tools to predict customer churn and pushes them into a dashboard to share for the sales team. So this is when it comes to the mandatory capabilities. There are other common capabilities that some vendors have, others don't, but they are not as critical as the ones we just went through. So these capabilities are also six here. So automated insights, this is when you learn and use machine learning to automatically highlight key trends and patterns in data. An example here would be the dashboard showing you 80% of sales coming from 20% of customers without requiring the users to get to this conclusion. A metrics layer that helps you standardize metrics where you define revenue, profit margin, for example, and then this becomes a wide scale language used within the organization, standardized across the entire organization. Data storytelling, where you combine visuals and narratives to explain data in an easy to understand way. An example would be a presentation showing you trends over time with explanations about why sales dipped. And then natural language query here is the feature where you can use plain language to inquire about data and to ask questions in plain language. An example here where the analyst would ask, what were the sales last quarter? And automatically he gets the response to his question. Collaboration capabilities, which is tools to help people work together simultaneously. A marketing team collaborating on building a dashboard that everyone can see and contribute to in real time. And then composability. And here, this is being able to embed analytics into other applications with minimal coding. So let's say you have a real-time sales analytics widget that helps the internal employees using them into other applications. So this is about the technology. It's important to understand if the vendor you're dealing with has these mandatory features or not, and where they have the common features, and whether that relates to the market you're selling to. But it's also important to understand the positioning. And for the positioning, we're going to just look at the main players of the BI and analytics platform. And here we're going to look at 6 vendors. So first, you have the AWS QuickSight. So AWS strengths are, this is a solution that's embedded into the AWS ecosystem. So if you're using Redshift for data warehousing, S3 for object storage, you're going to find that this is an easy to use solution that leverages all these tools that you're already using. It's also serverless, so you don't need to manage infrastructure, you don't need to do capacity planning, and you have less risk of over provisioning. And this is thanks to the cloud infrastructure of AWS. You have also Q&A capabilities with Amazon Q that leverages the large language models of AWS. But the weaknesses here are the fact that this is limited to AWS cloud only. So if you want to deploy this on other clouds, if you want to deploy this on premises or in a hybrid model, this is not possible. There's also the challenge of extra licenses sprawl if you want to have end-to-end capabilities for your BI tool with AWS. They tend to require other licenses, and then the complexity grows and the bill also grows for your BI solution. So there's limited data preparation, less sophisticated enterprise features. So Amazon AWS QuickSight is really good for companies who are native AWS customers, who have their stack fully dedicated and fully built on AWS. But if you need a multi-cloud environment, and if you have data in different systems, and you want to have a deployment that leverages different clouds, then AWS QuickSight will not be the right BI solution for you. The second solution we're going to look at is Google Looker. So the strength of the solution is that it's a multi-cloud code-first modeling layer built on LookML. It's collaborative, developer-focused, with strong integration into the Google ecosystem with BigQuery for data warehousing, Vertex AI for building machine learning models, Gemini for large language models. But the weaknesses are this is less suitable for business users as there's a learning curve with using the code-first semantic modeling layer. And also it lacks strong self-service capabilities with many basic features that have been released only recently. However, if you are only looking at the Google marketplace and if you're embedded into the Google ecosystem, then chances are Google Looker would do the job. However, if you still need to have a user base that is very tech savvy, and there's a steep learning curve to make sure that the solution is working. Microsoft Power BI, the strengths are obvious here. It's user-friendly. It has strong integration with the Microsoft ecosystem, with Microsoft 365, Azure, Dynamics, generative AI with the Copilot for Power BI. But again, this is an Azure-only deployment. There are some governance challenges where you tend to have so many tools and so many propagation of data across multiple solutions. And you end up with a lot of Power BI environment sprawl because it tends to spin up so many environments in order to achieve the Power BI capabilities. Uh, and it adds a lot of complexity, which is something that is there with Microsoft in general. Salesforce Tableau. So the strengths are user-friendly interface, powerful visualization, active community, and ecosystem. But again, it's limited in terms of capabilities for AI ML, limited data preparation capabilities, and then performance issues with large data sets. So this is good for small and mid-sized businesses, but usually when you go enterprise, Tableau is really not the right fit as a BI solution. You have also Qlik, which has a very famous associative data engine, great self-service capabilities, and AI-driven insights. It's very interactive, good community, an ecosystem around the solution. But again, there's a steep learning curve with Qlik's own scripting language that your developers need to learn and adopt. And it's a complex setup and maintenance and really not adapted for large enterprises. And last but not the least, so you have MicroStrategy that has obvious strengths with a lot of innovation in terms of features. So you have the hyperintelligence that helps you inject intelligence into different web applications and really infuses this intelligence into emails and other web apps to really give unique context sensitive insights that help users get more productive. Of course, MicroStrategy is known for being enterprise grade with a lot of strong features in terms of security and governance. It's cloud agnostic. You could run it on AWS, Google, Microsoft Azure, on premises, or in a hybrid environment. And very strong native ETL and a lot of AI innovations with Microsoft AI BI, MicroStrategy AI BI, and the release of Auto, the release of a lot of features that really help you automate and get a lot from the BI solution uh, leveraging AI. In terms of weaknesses, there's a steep learning curve. So this is for mid-sized businesses and enterprise businesses that have large data and that have multiple silos. So it makes sense to consolidate them under MicroStrategy. And then the solution is expensive. So if you're a small business, you should walk away because the solution is really adapted for complex environments and customers who really have a lot of data silos and would like to have an umbrella solution that leverages different clouds as well as different data sources. So if you have a complex environment, MicroStrategy is definitely your way into BI to simplify uh, extracting insights from your data that is pretty much everywhere. So, and third, it's all about the alignment. And the alignment here is as a partner, you need to take a look at your target customer base and align it with your own value proposition. When you mix these two things, it's going to become obvious what is the best BI vendor that will help you get the most out of your investment into the BI space. So first, you need to take a look at your customers. Are they SMB or enterprise? So there are good solutions for SMB customers who may be standardized on a single cloud and have a simple tech stack. And there's other solutions that work with enterprise where you need enterprise features, where you need governance, where you need higher and tighter security. You also need to take a look at the key verticals and the BI use cases for your customer base. So it's very important to tag the BI software sale to a specific use case and to push the solution in terms of business and in terms of the way it's going to add value to the business. Third, it's important to look at the tech stack of your customer base. Take a look at the data sources, the data types, the ETL requirements, the deployment options. And here, immediately, it's going to disqualify some of the vendors because they are deployed on a single cloud, or because they don't have strong ETL requirements, or because of the data sources and data types your customer uses, then they're not going to have the right support for this data type. And then fourth, it's all about looking at the level of governance, security, and compliance they need. If you're dealing with an enterprise customer, then there are very specific vendors who are able to help you achieve that. Now, when it comes to your value proposition, it's also important to take a look at the differentiation level for the solution and the BI solution you're going to adopt. There are solutions out there that have a lot of partners, so you would be competing with a lot of other vendors who have a lot of partners. And if you manage to make the sale this year, chances are in the future, there might be another partner that's going to come from a different angle and take your customer. And this will make the investment not future-proof. Second, you have to take a look at your level of expertise within the overall data management lifecycle. If you're already a Snowflake partner, there are BI vendors who integrate very well with Snowflake, Databricks. So you have to take a look at the horizontal integration you have when it comes to the end-to-end data management lifecycle. And there are some synergies. There are things that's going to give you a competitive edge when you choose a certain BI solution. And then you have to also take a look at the solution profitability level. There are solutions that can give you high margins, multi-year contracts, and also that can future-proof your investment. So if you're dealing with a BI vendor that doesn't have a lot of partners in a specific country, it means competition will be less intense, and it means that you can invest and get return on your investment as a partner throughout the next years. And it's not going to be just a one sale and then you're going to worry about the renewals. You're going to worry about another partner coming in to take your investment and take your business. So thank you for your time and hope that the video was useful.